What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the first ever inaugural episode of the Admin Playbook Live. And if you're watching this live, dope, you get to be a part of the conversation. If you're watching it later, hopefully you can still get the walkthrough, see how to do it, and then maybe even take some free resources out of it. And so the idea would be you guys just jump in the chat whenever you want to, and just be a part of it. And so I'm kind of low key, I haven't been pushing this. I just wanted you guys to be able to join as I walk through and create this resource. And my thought with this, like the thought behind this, is that I want to, and it's for administrators mainly, but anybody can be in here. Like anybody, like teachers, admin, anybody can be a part of this and, join up and learn and walk through. The idea why I said admin in this time of day is because it's tough for teachers to bounce out when they have a classroom full of students, unless it's like your prep period. And so my thought would be you guys can take this and we can hopefully create some dialogue and take 30. My goal is 20 to 30 minutes. But if you guys want, we can go longer, shorter, just depends on what we're doing. So here we go. So with today's inaugural episode, I wanted to create an evaluation resource for administrators. And in doing that, in creating the resource, I wanted to walk you through the whole process. So very often when I give out resources, people just kind of take the resources and go with it. And then maybe they're able to edit or adjust it, maybe not. And I thought to myself, what would be valuable to me if I was a principal or an administrator or a teacher? And that would be seeing someone else's steps in the process. What steps are they taking in that process of building what they're building? That way I can build it in the future. And so I'm going to walk you through building it. If you like what we create at the end of this, we should have a full notebook for administrators to use or teachers to use going into evaluations. Now, I will say this, because I am in Arkansas, I'm probably going to lean towards the Arkansas standards and what they're using to evaluate teachers and doing walkthroughs. However, one of the reasons I want to show you this walkthrough is so that you can go in and you can build something for you and your school specific, state specific, whatever specific you need. And so that's the idea, is I want to throw this in there. So if you know any administrators that this would help, go for it. At the end of this, we're going to have an evaluation tool where you can use it as you do evaluations to help evaluate teachers, but also teachers can use it to prep when they're getting evaluated or having something. So if you see anything in there, throw it in the comments. If you're live, throw any ideas, thoughts, anything at all, and we'll rock and roll. So I'm going to make my face a little bit, not that. There we go. There we go. Make my face smaller, make the screen bigger. BT Dubs, this is the teacher tab. And this, I'm just going to throw out other random resources when I see them. This right here, Revision History, which is a great Chrome extension. Guy, his name's Buzz. I had a video where I was talking about their Chrome extension, and it did pretty well. And so Buzz, the guy who created it, hit me up, and he's like super smart, knows all this like tech stuff. And he saw a video idea where I made a resource hub for teachers. And so he was like, hey, I can make a Chrome extension tab. So if you want, and you just search, what is it? Teacher tab Chrome extension. I get no money from this. This is not sponsored. Where is it? Teacher tab Chrome extension. Nope. You might have to go straight through my website because it's brand new. So it's not going to pop up any searches. If you go to tarveracademy.com/resources and you put in your email here, by the way, if you haven't seen this, by the way, BT Dubs, if you have not ever gotten my free resources, take them. It's the best thing I got because it's a ton of free stuff to save you money and save you time. tarveracademy.com/resources. I can toss that on the screen probably. tarveracademy.com/resources. And then once you do, put in your email and it's going to pop up this Google Doc. All right. So teacher tab is at the very bottom because it's brand new. It's a Chrome extension. And then once you add it, every time I start a new tab in Google Chrome, watch what happens. New tab, boom. I've got the time down to the second, date, where I'm at, the weather. I've got a search, and I can choose Google. I can search directly ChatGPT, Yahoo, Bing, whatever this thing is. Teacher tools, got these here. Classroom, Drive, Clever. Look, Revision History, my guy. Docs, Canva for education. All these things are right here. You got interactive stuff, Booklet, Kahoot, AI tools, some quick notes you can put here. I don't know if it's saved. This is a test. Let's see what happens whenever I open up a new tab. Oh, dope. I had never even tried that. So essentially it's making notes for me forever. All right. Teacher templates and resources. And this is where he linked a bunch of my free resources. So if you click these, it'll go to admin walkthrough form. There you go. You can make a copy and now you have a copy of that form. So it's got a little quote, teacher community stuff, lesson resources, all of it. So if you want that teacher tab, you can take that, but sorry, I saw that. So I had to talk about it. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go to a place called Notebook LM. If you have not used Notebook LM, it is a phenomenal way to use AI in education. And the reason I love it so much is because it cites where it's pulling from and you can choose when to include certain things to use. And I'm going to get into that as we build this evaluation. So I'm going to go to Notebook LM. And to show you what we're going to make, like here's an example. This right here, I made this for YouTube and education. This is essentially an AI search you can use that is geared around whatever you choose to put in there. So for instance, I could search stuff and it's going to pull from my sources. So that's just a zoom out. Now let's zoom back over here. So I'm creating a brand new Notebook LM. What I would recommend, again, I'm going to make mine for the state of Arkansas. So if you're an administrator in Arkansas, at the end of this, you can go to my resources tab and it's going to be under Google Notebook LMs and you can take it and you don't have to do anything. If you're from another state, you can click and watch this video afterwards, now, whenever, and you can walk through and create one for your state or your school specific. And that's the cool thing with these notebooks. You can get as specific as you want. So say you want your teachers when they're doing evals or doing their lesson plans or whatever, you want them to hit the state policy stuff, your school policy stuff, but then even maybe there's like an author or somebody who has a website, somebody you like that you want to include their stuff in, and you want your teachers to be geared towards that, you can add that in as well. So we're going to go in and I'm going to create a brand new notebook. So I'm in notebooklm.google.com, notebooklm.google.com. And I'm going to create new notebook. All right. So from here, you can read, but I'm going to kind of repeat what it's saying there. These sources are what the notebook is going to pull the information from. Yes, it can go to the internet and get it, but it wants to use the stuff you give it. So you can upload files. I can go into my Google Drive. I can post a link to it, paste text, all of that. So here's what I do. And this is Tyler's process. And this is how I would do if I was a principal and I'm creating this. I'm going to go, and I do this all the time. I bounce between Gemini, which is Google's AI, their ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT. I use Notebook LM. I bounce between whatever tool I need in the moment. And so I don't want to quiz myself. Chat. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Please stop. I love you, but please stop. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I always go and just try to get ideas and help me process. I go over to ChatGPT and I'll say, I'm trying to compile a list of websites, sources, Google Docs, and anything else I can to build a database for teachers and principals who are in the state of Arkansas and are getting evaluated, period. Can you give me the best list of things I could pull from that people could create that would be like a top of filter if they're getting evaluated, that they could put stuff into maybe a Notebook LM or a ChatGPT GPT? All right. That seemed ratchet, but it's very smart. It'll figure it out. All right. So we're going to let Chad work. Now, I know, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Arkansas is still under the TESS evaluations, which it would tell me in a second. But since it's thinking, I'm going to go over here. I know it is. So I'm going to go and I'm going to Google search, TESS evaluation rubric. There we go. I know that's going to be involved. Performance measures, TESS rubric descriptors. Okay. So we've got, let's do this for a teacher. And so it downloaded a PDF. Perfect. So I downloaded the teacher one, aspiring, instructional. I would probably, yes, you could download these all and stick them all in there and pick and choose which one's turned on and which one's turned off. Maybe we should do that. Okay, so let's do that for a couple, not for all of them. Let's do instructional specialist and library media specialist. So that way, if you're walking in to evaluate any of those, you have it. So let's take a gander at this teacher route. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, let me go into my notebook. I'm going to choose those files and I'm going to select them. So I'm going to select those two and then I like how they have final. Oh, you can't see it. I selected those files. And so now my notebook it has all of these in here. Now, granted, I don't want to, well, let's keep uploading stuff. Okay, so let's see what else Chad said. So Chad's still thinking. All right, let's see what else. Trying to see if there's anything else on this website that would be helpful for us. Pathways, no. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. The rubrics, I guess, is what they're mainly going off of. I'm going to go, and this is literally, I did not do all this beforehand because I wanted you as an administrator to see it so you could build the process yourself as well. And hopefully you have a better process than me, but I literally just Google searched. I've got chat, GPT still working in the background, and hopefully it's going to come some good stuff. Arkansas classroom teacher rubric. That looks like the exact same thing. Test rubric, Arkansas. There we go. Oh, that's from A State. I don't see anything else. Maybe we'll go here. Oh, it's every single link I click is actually just downloading a PDF for me. I'm going to upload that last one. So I've already uploaded that first chunk. I'm going to go up here to add in the upper left-hand corner. And I'm going to add that last one I just got from Arkansas State. I'm going to toss that in there. So now I've got this other Arkansas Teacher Excellence and Support. And so far we've only done PDFs. Maybe let's go to YouTube and see if they got anything. So I'm on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Tarver Academy? Let's search test evaluation. Test evaluation. Okay, so that looks like a promo for a company. How to crush your formal teacher. Okay, sweet. So here's a good one. It's a 24-minute video. It's got 15,000 views. She seems legit. She seems nice. In this video, we go through how to work throughout the year to achieve high scores in teacher evaluation. We went through the Danielson teacher evaluation. Okay. It looks linked. Honestly, if I had more time, maybe we could go in. But honestly, I just want to show you for the purpose of this. I'm going to grab this link. See how I'm copying that link right there? And then I want to go back to my notebook. Again, this is notebooklm.google.com, and I'm building out a notebook. So I want to hit add, and I want to add in a YouTube video. I went too fast. Sorry. Add, and I'm under link. See how it has YouTube or website? I'm going here, and you can upload up to 300 sources in here. So now, how to crush your teacher? Perfect. Not how to crush your teacher. How do you crush your teacher evaluation? All right. My bad. Let's hit back. Let's see if there's any other ones. Assigning teachers to evaluate. No. 4 facts about tests. No. TAs. Texas teacher version. That's Texas. T-test is Texas's version test. I didn't know that. Still scrolling through. I don't see any others. If you guys see any, if you have any others, you could always add them in there. Let's see if we can find the website. So we got a YouTube video. Still waiting on chat. GPT. Would love for it to work faster. And we're just going to keep rolling. And literally, this is what I do. If I'm waiting on ChatGPT, and it might be taking long because I have the ChatGPT Pro. Wow, look how important I am. Anybody can get it. It's not a big deal. But it's taking a while because it wants to be legit. Okay, here we go. All right. So only ratings available. Create a short video walking you through some common errors we're seeing around learner observer. Okay. So they made a short video. I don't know what they've got this on. Is that a YouTube video? That's not a YouTube. They've uploaded that on their own. Ugh. I don't want that. see, PGP self-assessment, checklist for setting up that's the dashboard setup. I'm just looking for different components that I could throw in to this. Let's see. If you've got any, you could toss in the chat if you have any links or things you use and like as a reference. Here we go. Providing feedback to learner. Man, they got everything in its non-YouTube videos, which I don't know if it'll pull from a non-YouTube video. I guess it can with the transcript, but they've got to like upload it into something. Why don't we just use YouTube? I think we're past this, right? Like YouTube won the video. All right. You know what? I'm just going to toss this whole link right here. So it can pull from it. Copy that. I'm going to go in. I'm going to hit add, and I'm going to add this website. Insert. So we can pull from them. And essentially, you can go in and pick anything you want. If you wanted to, I'm still just details. Okay, got it. It's going in and it's really doing its thing. But I really want to use it. How about this? Let's do Gemini. So gemini.google.com, which is Google's version. And I'm going to get this from it. I am a principal at a school in Arkansas, and I'm trying to build a notebook LM for teachers that they can use to prep for their evaluations, but also I can use it when I'm doing walkthroughs, and I could just tell it what I'm observing and let it build out, different things that teachers could work on based on my observation, and then also tie it into the TESS evaluation model, period. What should I include in there? Or would it be better for you just to create something that I can convert to a doc and upload as a source, ? Okay, so I essentially gave it two options. I didn't know it would be better. Would Gemini be better if Gemini created it for me and I could just upload that in there as a source? Or should I go in and have it say, here are all the sources? Okay, Arkansas Test Evaluation Notebook, Observation Feedback Tool. Okay, looks like it's creating. All right, so I'm going to take all that. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go into my Jeep. Nope. I'm going to go into here. Let me see. Is there a spot? I'm going to add note. Can I do that? What this is for. I'm going to go here, paste that, and then I'm going to convert it to a source. So I went in ahead and add note. What this, we did this test eval overview. That's what I'm going to title it. Hit convert to source. Convert to source. There we go. It is now a source. And back to studio. Okay. So I'm creating all these things in Notebook LM so that I can have them, use them, whatever. Dear goodness, Chat GPT, hurry up. It's taking its dear sweet time. This Pro is taking forever. I'm going to refresh. But it means it's doing its job. The thing with Pro, if you've never used ChatGPT Pro, it dives deep into it and makes sure that it's not like something boo-boo. It's going to go in and like be more legit on the sources and not just pull random from the first thing it sees. So I appreciate that, but what I don't appreciate is that it's been rolling for like over 10 minutes. And so would love for it to go. And then, you know what? I'm actually add this in here because I'm going to give it out to people for free. And you can always turn off sources. I want to go in and I want to pick a Google Doc. And I'm going to pick, actually, I'm not doing a doc. I'm going to go add. I'm going to upload. And I'm going to say, I'm going to do my Baller Teacher book. So I can upload my entire teaching book in there. If people like that, they can turn it on or turn that off. Let's see. Last version, PDF. Open. So now my entire book is in there as well. And let's see what else. Let's see what the details are here. Come on now. I want it to get one more thing in there. And well, we can get that in a sec. We're not finished. We can always add sources later, but let's show what it would look like. So you go in and you do an observation. and you're walking out, and I would have Notebook LM, just have it pulled up on your phone. That way you can just hit the voice thing. Typing takes forever. Just do the voice thing and talk to it. Probably not in front of the teacher, but you could describe what you're seeing. Or you could, if you wanted, it'd be good because you're in there anyways and you can't talk into your phone while they're teaching. You could essentially take notes into your computer, like in here as a note. So you would say something like, I'm evaluating a teacher who teaches seventh grade science, period. Their name is Mr. Smith, period. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, and then I would love for you to do a preliminary evaluation, not a formal evaluation, based on the TESS evaluation standards, period. Here are my notes, colon. And what I would do is whenever figure out that prompt. And honestly, when I create prompts like that, I usually use ChatGPT or Gemini to help me create the prompt. I'll have it help me create the prompt, just tell it what I want, say, create a good prompt for it. Think of stuff I wouldn't think of, make it clear, make it clean, all that. And we can change it here in a minute. But after that, you can have that as like text replacement on your phone. You go into keyboards and do text replacement to where you can just quickly type it and it pops up the whole prompt. And then that way you're just, boom, you have the prompt and then you just tell it what you're seeing and you could just type as you're watching. I'm only in here for 5 minutes, but I noticed right off the bat, the objectives were on the board. Students seem to be engaged. The class is very quiet and the students seem to be working on the bell ringer, period. The teacher gets done taking roll, and then now they're asking questions about what the students think the bell ringer answer is, and they're explaining common mistakes students are making verbally, period. Then the teacher asked them to turn in their homework from last night. They did not review any of the questions from the night before. They took that up and they said they're going to grade it and have it out in a couple days, period. Then they started the new lesson. The teacher was talking about photosynthesis and discussed what it was. They talked for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then they showed a short 8-minute video from Crash Course on YouTube, and then they discussed what they thought about it, and the teacher asked several targeted questions, period. Students seemed involved. They raised their hands and they were polite, but the students were not guiding the conversation. The teacher was, period. Granted, that wasn't bad. It's just that's the way the classroom was running, period. I ended up staying for about 15 minutes, which is longer than I thought, but I was engaged in the lesson as well. And I wanted to see my teacher work, period. They are a first year teacher and they seem to have a good respect with the students. And they knew several of the students' names, but not all of them. Some of them they were still learning because it's only the 3rd or 4th week of school, period. Please give some areas. Oh, hold on. Let me let the prompt know that I'm finished. First teacher, they seem to have respect, blah, blah, blah. Some of still learning. It's not 3rd or 4th week of school. Only 3rd or 4th. You should know their names by 3rd or 4th week of school. End of notes. Okay. And then I'll say, please give some this teacher could work on based on the TESS evaluation model and not only recognize things they did well, but give them ways to make that even better, period. Any areas you see that weren't a strength or could count against them, please give clear, actionable steps of how they could correct this, period. Make everything kind and personable. And I want them to enjoy teaching and not feel like this is a critique, more of an encouragement and collaboration of ideas based on someone who gets to walk into several classrooms, period. Okay. And then we're going to hit enter and see what it comes up with. What did I do? It's not letting me hit the enter. I don't know what it's doing. Did I talk too long? Was it too long? I've never had a prompt too long. Yeah, my prompt was too long. Let's see this. Okay, so I'm going to take off where I said end. I'm going to take that part off. There we go. This is going to it's going to essentially look at it first. Goodness gracious. Don't embarrass me. All right, hold on. I got to copy that somewhere so I don't lose it. So, all right, let me paste that in prompt because I don't want to do that again. Okay, so let me copy all this because it's having issues. I'm gonna hit refresh on the page. All right, so we're back in. Got a brand new. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to hit that again. That's probably what messed me up last time. I actually hit that prompt. Okay, back in. Here's my boom. Taking notes. Why was the system unable to answer? Answer the question, bro. I've never seen that before. It's great timing. Great timing. What are three? Let me just get some random tips for teachers in their first year. Okay, let's just do some basic and then I'll start pasting the stuff we did earlier. So that's not a huge man, Gemini, you're better than that. So here's one of the things, and again, I haven't showed it yet. And if you've never messed with Notebook LM, it is phenomenal. And I would, if I were you, I'd have 50 or 60 notebooks, depending on what it is I'm doing. I would have a notebook, and we'll do this as a different admin playbook live, but I would have my whole handbook in there. That way, any student discipline stuff you could just toss in there. And the reason is, look at this. Got all this, and then I could go in and it's going to cite where it's pulling it from. That pulled from my book, that pulled from that YouTube video, this pulled from my book again. Dang, you might want to take my book off of there. All right, now let's paste that thing about Mr. Smith. Hit enter. Why is it unable to answer? Why are you unable to answer? I don't know why. That's weird. It appears I might be understanding regarding our previous conversation. I did provide a response to your query about 3 tips. I don't know. You didn't do this. Maybe I didn't ask anything. Okay. Summarize this eval, please. Okay. This is ridiculous. All right, let's try it again. I'm doing an evaluation, an informal evaluation for a teacher named Mr. Smith teaching 7th grade science, period. They are using technology. The students will have their Chromebooks up and seem to be paying attention. And the teacher is doing lecture style, but also asking questions to the class frequently, period. There seems to be good rapport. However, the teacher doesn't know all the students' names, period. What are some preliminary thoughts based on this? Question mark. All right. Maybe I had too much in there. I don't know what it was. I've never seen that before. But maybe you would go back and forth like one at a time. That might be the way to do it. Like you're bouncing in, typing notes, and just like entering, like type and enter, type and enter. And then you can have it summarized for you at the end. All right. Based on your observation of his class, student engagement, the fact students in their Chromebook seem to be paying attention, strong positive indicator. It's pulling from domain 3B. That's great. Then we got here, this is pulling from my book, which you might want to take off. Then we got test eval overview. Okay, that's from the test again. Okay, so it's doing pretty good. I'm going to keep telling you things that I see, and I would love for you to just keep filing them away. And then we can, at the end, build something to give to the teacher, period. Let's see if it'll do it. It works a little different than Chat GPT. Chat GPT, I can just like throw stuff in there. Okay, never mind. I said it's good. Okay. Also, I noticed that there were a couple kids that started talking and they were able to talk for like 4 or 5 minutes. And then finally the teacher noticed and then just put themselves in proximity to the students, but never even addressed it. And the students stopped talking to each other off topic, period. Let's just keep bouncing stuff in there. I'm just going to keep going. Last thing, right before I left, the students started working quietly on their assignment and the teacher went and sat behind their desk for a little bit. I don't know if they were checking emails or grading papers, but the students seemed to be working on what the teacher had just taught. And I didn't see anyone ask any questions, but they were very quiet, period. All right. And then if I wanted, I can just take, this is an easy way to take that book, took Tyler's book off there, took the instructional tech support, and then media specialist. So this is just for a teacher. All right. And then, excellent. Okay, I'm done with the evaluation, comma. Can you give them a 3-part summary that I can send them via email, period? I want to first do a glow section where I brag about 2 or 3 things they did really well, and I wanna show them what it would rank if we did the test evaluation based on this moment. The second part, I would like for you to do a grow section where you give them, like, 1 or 2 things they could do even better than they're already doing, period. Don't make it look like they're not doing them well, but just show how they could tie that in to the state standards a little better with regards to their evaluation stuff, period. And the last part, I would love to ask some thought-provoking questions to the teacher that would get their mind racing about different areas they could even expand, even in areas they're really successful. Just an overall view of what they're doing, period. Please make it highly personable from me, Dr. Tarver. Okay. So from that, it's going to pull. And again, I've unselected the specialist one. I've unselected the what is it, media specialist, instructional specialist, and my book. I took those off there. I honestly might do the first two in the future and then just turn my book on. And that way it's a little more. But here we go. Dear Mr. Smith, it was a pleasure observing you. I enjoyed seeing your students engaged in learning. My goal for these informal observations is to provide supportive, actionable feedback. Here are some preliminary based on what I observed. Structure to provide a glow, which you're doing incredibly well. A grow, areas for deeper impact, even deeper impact, and some thought provoking questions. And so it's building it out. And for everything that is pulling, I can click and see. So it's pulling from the teacher rubric there. It's pulling from the rubric there. Man, lots of rubrics. What we got? Boom. Let's see if we can get something that's not the rubric. No, it's just straight pulling from that rubric on every single time. But it's pulling from all that. And now I have, it's a pretty solid email. So I'm going to hit this. You ready? I'm going to show you the whole process. Hit copy. And then I'm going to go, and I don't know if you have like a running doc for each teacher. You should. But if not, just go find a doc. And then I could just say, Mr. Smith, informal evals 2025/26. Okay. And so here we go. I want to put the, okay, let's say, I'm not going to do that yet, actually. This is what I would do. I'd go into my Gmail, which, by the way, I'm going to hide as quickly as possible. Oh, no, didn't mean to go there. There we go. I'm going to hit compose. Let's pretend we're going to email that teacher. All right, to them. Thanks for letting me observe you. They didn't let you. It was your job. Observe your class. Here are a couple thoughts. That's the thing. Like whenever I would do eval, like whenever I do walkthroughs informal, like one thing I didn't do well was I didn't give them like clear, I would like mainly used it for encouragement, which is fine. But you also want to guide them towards what they should be doing. Cause at the end of the year, if all you did was give them a post saying, good job, you did right here, I love this, whatever. And then you just talked when you pass in the hall, they're not going to have the actionable documentation of how you try to improve them. So I'm going to paste what I just copied. So reflections on the 7th grade class is too formal. Now, here's what I recommend. This is Tyler's recommendation. Do not send this like it is. Read through it, adjust it. Anything you put in there needs to come from you. It's going to hurt a teacher's feelings if they feel like you, even if it is like your thoughts and it just like, put it together and made it formal, it's going to hurt their feelings if you do this. You have to go in, read it, clean it up, and use the link you have between the human and what the text is being built out. So you go in, you build that. You would read through it, adjust anything. It's got test reflections on there. It's got all the thoughts on it. Grow section, elevating your enhancing proactive monitoring and subtle behavior management. And you would clean this up, make it more whatever you want, and then thought-provoking questions. And it's going to ask them some questions. Mr. Smith, you clearly have a passion for teaching and are doing many things well. I'm excited to see you grow and evolve. I look forward to discussing these reflections with you. Boom. You've got it. You can send that whole thing to them. All right. Now, this is what I would do because I started that doc earlier and I would say, Mr. Smith, 7th grade science, 2025/26. Okay. And then I'm going to put today's, let's do this. I'm going to go in and then I'm going to say, I'm back in my notebook. That was fantastic, period. Now I would like for you to take all of the information that I gave you on this observation and build it out into something that I can put into documentation on their performances, period. Do it from a professional standpoint using the TESS evaluation. And please try to include stuff that I mentioned to them in case they bring this email up later down the road, period. Make it have today's date and the time I went into class, period. I started at 9 a.m. and left at 9:15 a.m., period. It all happened today, period. So this is one of the main things I use AI for is I'll have the content up front and then I have it adjust the content for me and put in different like buckets, different avenues based on what I'm doing. And so this, I need documentation. I need it to be a clean like breakdown of everything I did and saw in there, not a letter to them. The letter wouldn't be the documentation. This would. So I would go in. Now I'm going to hit paste. Boom. And then I like to go in and do I do this and I'll do title. That way I have my tabs over here and I can bounce through and I'll put 9. What is today? The 3rd? 3/25. And that was an informal observation. All right. And now I've got a document. And you could share this with them if you wanted. Like, I don't know what your style is. It could be your stuff only or they can have access to it. But I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. That's what I like to do. All right. Sorry, this is bothering me. I like this because this is the way it looks on the back end is how I want this to be. Like, I'm trying to put this in a way where I want it to be professionally done, but I was still able to be in control of the content when I was building out. So that's it. Okay, so let me show you where you can get this. Oh, let me show you can share this. So say you build this out, and I'm going to share this with everybody. So let me change the title. Educate Performance Route. Let's see. Arkansas educator tests evals. Eval and eval prep. Okay, so we got a name for it. Now, I want to give this to anybody that wants it. So what I'm going to do, and again, you build this out. You can either take this and use it, or you can make your own. And then you can share it with all of your teachers so they can go in and put their lesson plans in, say, this is what I've got as lesson plan. What should I change? Or here's what I did. What should I do to elevate my class? They can ask the questions themselves that you're going to be getting through here. So I'm going to go to share. And then I want to do, I'm going to put a welcome note. So anybody that opens it, hello, welcome to a notebook specifically for admin and teachers using the TESS evaluation system. Please use to take notes on what you're doing or to prep for what you can do better. Reminder, unselect my book, baller book, if you don't want Tyler's opinion creeping in there. Okay. So that'll be the note going in. And then, hey, no worries. Thanks, Ms. Deckard. Glad you're here. And you can rewatch this at any time. That same link will be able to rewatch, stop, pause, whatever. And I'm going to do more of these in the future. So you'll be good. So I want to change the note. We finished the notebook and I'll show y'all again what we did. But I'm letting anyone with the link have access to the full notebook. Yeah, viewers can chat and view sources and notes. Okay, great. So I'm going to hit save. Okay, now I need to get that link. So I'm going to copy the link, copy link, and I'm going to change this. It doesn't have to be Arkansas. So I'm going to do educator. I'm going to do TESS educator is the title. Evals and eval prep. Okay, so now just so I don't forget, I'm going to put this under my notebooks. So Tess, educator, eval, notebook, and an eval prep. Okay, so if you want this, if you want to get access to this, the link will be in my resources. So tarveracademy.com/resources. And when you click, you got to put an email in. You can put in whatever, any email you want, but it's going to have access to where you can type stuff in here and you can ask it questions. You can have people do prep stuff, anything. So you can use an example. Again, you can watch this video and walk back through it. Oh, it finally finished it. So we've got all of this. I could have taken these and tossed all these in there. That would have been great to have. I had ChatGPT earlier. I had it build out all the things I would need for this, and it took like 15 minutes. Look at that, 12 minutes and 30 seconds. That's too long, bro. Too long. I'm gonna turn that off. Turn off that Pro. It's taking forever. But it's got all these. It's giving me documents, all this stuff I could toss in there. I could make this phenomenal. So official rubrics. See if there's any of this we need to add in here. Rubric descriptor, examples of artifact. Oh, let's do this one. So I'm going to take this, copy. Oh, it downloaded the PDF. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to add that artifacts PDF. Where is it? There we go. So now we have test artifacts in there. I'm just adding sources in for anybody that wants to use this in the future. They can go in, they can type, admin can type it, what they're seeing, and it'll build out all their stuff for them. Emails to teachers. It'll do the recap. They can document and then also clear next steps. But then also teachers can use it. So there's pre-observation form, PDF. See if any of these need to go in there. Leads 2.0 principal rubric. That's if you're evaluating principals. Teacher status for rating rotation. I don't know if any of these need to be in there. There we go. So a lot of those, I don't know if we need them, but we've got a couple of them in there and you can add more and take more off. So, and then there's over to the right in the studio, there's a ton of stuff you can use with this. You can make audio stuff, but I think most of what you're going to want to use is for the written documentation side and then following up with the teachers. And so that is Notebook LM. Somebody asked, and again, I'll answer any questions you guys have in here. And so it says, generator said, do you need editor for videos and shorts? You don't need one. I do most of my editing for my shorts in TikTok directly, and then I post the TikTok and then it auto posts everywhere else. So you can do that anywhere you want. And so if anybody has any other questions, throw them in here. I'll answer for the next few minutes, or however long you want, and I'll answer any questions about anything. So that's what I would do. I just edit in TikTok. And then if you can be better at editing, yeah, obviously use Final Cut Pro or iMovie or anything like that. So it's always a fantastic tool. What else was I going to say? Oh, I was going to tell you this. So the next one of these, I'm going to do through, I'm going to focus on how we can use it for student discipline. And so you can create a notebook where it has your handbook in it. And we're going to walk through setting that up to where you can just describe the situation and let it go to your handbook and pull your discipline stuff and then help get them students in the right direction. This was brought to you. Today's video, what's up, is brought to you by tarveracademy.com/honor roll, which if you are, let's see, and this is where you can check out if you don't want to hear my pitch. I have a thing called the honor roll. It is, one of the few things I have that costs money. Everything else is free. All those resources are free. This is free. But in the honor roll, I have where teachers can sign up for like $30, or you can get your entire school access for it's $2,000 for school. And that's a year. So $2,000 a year. And you get access to all my templates, walkthroughs. You get all my presentations. So any presentation I've ever done, you can go in and you could take any of my presentations. You can make a copy of it. I've got, stuff on leadership, stuff on Google, stuff on AI. Look at this. I don't know how many of these are. How many are in here? Let me look. 78. I got 78 presentations in here that you can still take, make a copy, delete my name and put your name on. And your teachers can too, if you give them access. Then what else we got in the honor roll? That's not even the main stuff. Here's get to the good stuff. The main stuff I really love is it's got a lot of trainings and courses. And that's one of the things, resources and templates I'll throw out for free. But what I do that costs money that allows me to do this stuff for free is these courses and trainings. So like I did this one. It's a course. It's an AI teacher playbook masterclass. And teachers can go through. This one takes about 6 hours. So you could let them do their PD hours if you wanted, but it's up to you. They can go through. It's bite-sized videos. So they can watch a video of me walking them through that. And then it's got curriculum underneath, content, walks them through all of it. So every single lesson looks like this on all the courses. I've got stuff on how they can be a better teacher with ChatGPT. I've got one on just being a better teacher. So, and I'm actually working on one for new teachers. So I'll have that. So any of your new teachers can go through and it'll like essentially be their mentor and guide, but then also have discussion questions where if they have like an in-person mentor, they can like bounce stuff off of them. That's the idea. And then if you really just need your teachers to knock out their hours, this is what a lot of schools use it for, is they'll go in here. Their teachers can go in and pick any of these training. The trainings are anywhere from 1 to 6 hours. And they can go in, like here's one on Google Classroom intermediate training. And it's 3 hours of me training on Google Classroom. And then at the end, there is a QR code. They'll scan, fill it out, and it'll send them a certificate showing that they did all the work that they said they did. So that's the honor roll. If you or your school wants to be a part of that, tarveracademy.com/honor roll, and you can get it for your entire school, and they can have access to all the trainings in all the world. And yeah, there you go. Thank you, Tarver Academy, which is me. What's up, for sponsoring this? But thank you for signing up. And then, all these other things are in there as well. Hope that helps. I hope you can take this eval that we created. Remember, if you want that, go to tarveracademy.com/resources. And once you put your email in, it's going to pop this up. It's under Google Notebook LMs. You can have access to this. And I'll show you. I don't think I can, because I'm showing that screen. I don't think I can show you what it would look like on your end. But you would be able to type stuff into that, or you can make your own. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining for the first ever Admin Playbook Live. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And never stop learning. I'll see you guys later. Later. Bye, y'all. See you next time.